He knows exactly what source to give credit to for the reason of him being able to speak to us this day. Good day, everybody. Welcome to the channel Modern Renaissance Man. I am your host, Ty Smith. No, I appreciate you guys checking out my podcast. I really do. Do me a favor, though. Make sure that if you're new to this channel, that you follow me on all the platforms listed above there in the black and the ones below here. That spelling up there in Rumble, don't worry about it. It's supposed to be spelled like that, okay? One of the best things you can do while you're watching this is to make sure that this right here is clicked. What it does, it keeps my content being circulated to you, recommended to you, all the above. And also it lets YouTube know that if there's anybody else out there that like channels like mine, that pushes out this message of unity, of truth, of common sense, they too will be notified of things like this. So make sure you do that, okay? Last but not least, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. So again, folks, I'm doing some pre-recorded videos right here just to kind of let you guys know that I have some people that was in my live last night that missed out on a lot of things because of, senior naps. They old, they fall asleep. I'm gonna stop messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. Okay. But I told you guys don't worry about it because some of you said, I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing tomorrow. And I said, no, you're not. That means you got, even if you watch this at noon, you're gonna be done by 5 o'clock. So don't worry. We capture all the major points for you and all that, and make sure you will be able to catch the things that you weren't able to hear. But this is President Trump speaking for the first time after the incident. And he's definitely giving all praise and credit to God Almighty, plain and simple. You don't have to believe me. You hear him tell it.
To the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people, at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper, and then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually, most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance, and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. No. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. but I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let him know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Now, you can tell that he was definitely moved by that. The thought process that went into it, him speaking calmly like he did in a low tone. If you never came near death, it is a difficult thing to talk about. You could tell that it was kind of getting to him a little emotionally, but I think he was trying to keep himself composed so he can remain strong. He has a lot of family watching him, his grandchildren watching him. He has to show that he is definitely stoic and strong. You know what I mean? And I know y'all can say, there's nothing wrong with somebody. No. Not in a time like this. Like my coach told me, God rest his soul, cry behind closed doors when nobody can see you. But remain strong. Remain strong for your family. Remain strong for your sons. Remain strong for people that look to you for being that pillar. Behind closed doors, do all the crying you want unto the Lord. Plain and simple. Well, Ty, there's nothing wrong with expressing. That's why I look. I don't like being around weak folks. I'm just telling y'all, plain and simple. I'm talking about openly like that. No. Anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that because you see who he gave credit to. One thing that we don't realize a lot of times is that we read books in the Bible. We read about, all these people, Alexander the Great, Napoleon, things like that. Read about Churchill, famous things that he said and he did during these hard times. Trump is going to be exactly one of those people just like that. I will be talking about this to my grandchildren, to my great-grandchildren, to my great-great-grandchildren about this moment that their grandpa, great-grandpa, great-great-grandpa was a part of. It's documented. Your grandpa was the first one to catch it. I'll be telling those stories just like that. What I'm saying on that for is this. We see just like in the Constitution that our forefathers with our American story, our forefathers, who they credit to for their life, for them coming up with the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights. Oh, look who they credited. Look how they prayed. Look how they done these things. So what I'm saying therefore is that what Trump said should be in the history books. It definitely should be in the school books of who he's giving credit to, because this is what they did to us right now, folks. In our history books, it's amazing that they take away a lot of things that Abraham Lincoln said, George Washington said, a lot of our forefathers, the signers of the Declaration of Independence, Benjamin Franklin, they take a lot out of these school books on purpose. These men constantly talked about God all the time for their life, for giving them direction all the time, but they keep it out. Anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know that right there. And y'all let me know what y'all think of this right here. If you missed it last night, don't forget to leave a comment. And also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to do this right here, because I'm telling you, it's important that you subscribe, and then that thumbs up definitely will help the channel. So please remember to do that. I know I always say this. I haven't been doing a lot of my videos, but it's going to be a thing that I might consistently continue to try to say a little bit. You guys all have a cell phone. If there's anybody in your cell phone that you know would like this channel and the message that I put out, please, I beg you to let them know about this channel, because everybody needs to hear this. This is how we unite. You guys will be the reason why this message will spread. All right? Appreciate you. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.